Hey everybody, it's your buddy Beard Grizzly. I wanted to include a couple thoughts from our last video that basically sit down and talk about what I'm really hopeful for in Destiny 2. We of course talked about a few different things with Zavala and how he might handle in the wilderness had he, seen a couple of things, but overall the biggest thing that I didn't get a chance to talk about that I really want to is how Cayde or Ikora may handle out in those same kind of situations, being thrust out into the wilderness once again. There are a couple lore relations. I'm just going to flash the cards up, but really this is just meant as kind of like quick discussion, a little bit of an amendment from our video last time, but here we go. Zavala's been in a lot of combat. He's seen a lot of war, he's seen a lot of battle, a lot of strife, and he also was trained by Saladin, so he's got a lot of war background to kind of help him out. I'm anxious to see what him, Shaxx, and Saladin do, especially being in the same fire team supposedly, especially from the trailer we saw for Destiny 2, but I'm also really curious to see how Cayde and Ikora are going to handle. Now, Cayde's a fun one because he sits down and he talks a lot of stuff, a lot of stories that he has, and he presents them in that fun little charismatic way that he does. I'm just sitting in the back of my mind going, imagine if what Tevis Larson said is absolutely true and everything that Cayde says is a lie, and now he gets out on the field and he's more just kind of like, everybody help, I can't do nothing. I feel like there might be a couple of those moments at least, because that's just how Cayde's character is. He's built on a fun little joke. That's his whole stigma, that's his whole idea. But I think he will still be a very strong character to see out in the wild. I'm just really curious to see the kind of stuff that Cayde employs. I mean, he's used traps in the past. He has a lot of stuff that's littered all over the Cosmodrome from past endeavors and past treasure hunts that he's done. So I'm really interested to see what other stuff in history we can actually figure out from him, and to see what kind of stuff he's had just littered all over the place in the Cosmodrome. And Ikora has spent years upon years out in the wilderness supposedly. She used invective, that was her shotgun, and she handled that all through the Crucible. She has one of the best winning streaks on record within the Crucible. So I'm really anxious to actually see what happens when she gets out there. If she's just going to be cold and calculating about what she does, or if she has some kind of like different flair and flash to her. And we'll finally get the answers I think that we might be looking for, which is necessarily what classes, what subclasses these Guardians actually are. I mean, Ikora uses Thunderstrike in the Destiny 2 trailer. We don't necessarily see anything from Zavala. I have a feeling he's a Defender Titan, but he talks about Strikers as much as he does, which makes me think he might be one. And then lastly with Cayde, it'd be funny if all of a sudden he pulled back a Shadow Bow and started firing that, even though I keep thinking that he's a gunslinger. So all these predisposed norms that you might have just all of a sudden get thrown out the window, and Bungie could go ahead and just turn everything we thought just completely upside down, especially with showing us what kind of classes these guys actually use. And the other big character, which we kind of talked about, Prince Uldren, what exactly is he doing? What exactly are we going to see actually come from his story and what he's doing next? If you're not too familiar, Destiny 1's original story actually had Master of Crows, or Prince Uldren, basically drop down and effectively kidnap us, telling us that the Traveler was actually bad, wasn't actually something good that we wanted to have. And all of a sudden we just start going against the Traveler. All of a sudden everything that we knew about him gets flipped, turned upside down. All of a sudden I feel like I need to start singing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but moving on. What exactly is it that Bungie is planning to do with him? What exactly is making him tick? We know that he wants to act on experiments and raise an army, something that only will effectively serve him, and this basically spits in the face of everything that the Reef is right now. It basically throws all the work that him and Mara have done out the window, which is basically what they have said in the cards. He is abandoning everything except for the people that have backed him up this entire time. I'm just wondering what Uldren's endgame is. I'm wondering what exactly his whole thing, his whole shtick is going to be about. And meanwhile, of course, he's trying to find the Queen, he's trying to find his sister, but is that the ultimate goal? Is that it? That can't be it. Anyway, gang, if I missed something or you have anything that you want to add to what I just talked about, especially about Uldren, please about Uldren, leave it down in the comments below, of course. If there's anything I missed, let me know. If there's topics that you're thinking about that you really want to see covered, of course, let me know. Twitter has actually been blazing with ideas for me, so I can't thank you guys enough for, again, all the support that you've been giving me, especially on this channel, on my Twitter, everywhere. Just helping to make this place grow. But that's it for me. I just wanted to add on to a few more thoughts that I had from last time's video and basically build from there. As always, gang, I've been Beard Grizzly, and I'll see you next space time. Take care.